Hello guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video, I will show you guys how we can create a responsive navbar in reactjs. So let's get to it without wasting any time. So there are a few steps that we need to take before starting to code. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new empty React application, and for that we will use npx. And so to create a new application, we will say npx create react app and dot slash. Dot slash means just that we're gonna create a new app in our current folder, and it's gonna take a while, and then it will create a few folders for us and install our necessary node modules. Okay, so once everything has been installed properly, the next thing we need to do is to run npm start just to start our development server. So we'll say npm start. So here you can see a development server is up and running. So once this is done, we need to install font awesome, because we're going to use font awesome for our icons. And you can just go to this link. I have put the link in the description, so you can just go to the link and just follow the instructions, and then you can use font awesome in your application. So we're gonna just copy this and open a new terminal tab here. Just paste this here. I think we also need to install a couple more things. So we'll only be using free icons for now. So we'll just copy these two. Okay, so now we have all our required node modules installed and all the libraries installed. So now we can start working on our application properly. So for that, we'll go to the src folder and let's quickly delete these two files because we don't need them, at least for now. We're not going to test this application. So okay, so once we are in our app.js, I think we should first remove all this boilerplate code. We don't need this, and also close this terminal tab here. So this is removed, and now we have to see in our Chrome window. Yeah, so everything is removed now, and now we'll start working on our, let's quickly remove this as well. So yeah, so now we'll start working on our navbar component, and for that I'll just go to this src folder and create a new folder, call it components, because this is the practice that everybody should use, and that is the norm in React development community, to save all the components in a separate folder so that we can reuse them. And create a new folder here, call it navbar, and in this navbar folder we'll create a couple of new files. First one is index.js and another one is styles.css. okay, and we're gonna create a new React functional component here. So it's just a function, so we'll say I think we should create an create arrow function here. So let's call it navbar and return a nav component, and at the bottom I'm just gonna export this navbar default export, sorry. Yeah, so we have our empty component for the navbar, and I'm just gonna quickly import React here, just from React, so because we're gonna need this later on maybe. So yeah, we have our empty navbar component here. We'll say just navbar just to test everything if everything is working properly. Here we'll go and import the navbar component. Now it should be working properly. Yeah, so here we can see our navbar component working properly. And now coming to our code, we're gonna build upon this navbar, and so in the navbar let's create another an object here, constant, sorry, and this will be our menu. that is going that we're going to use in our app or in the navbar. And I just keep it I just like to keep it as an object, so that we can reuse it, and if you want to make any changes, we can just change that object, and it will automatically render into our component. So in this array, an array contains multiple objects, and each object has two two properties. And the first one is the title, and as a title, the first menu title is usually home, and the link, for now the link should be just a hash. Okay, so we're gonna copy this and repeat this multiple times, just because we have multiple menus. So the first one is home, the second one should be let's say portfolio. Okay, and the third one should be about me, and the last one, let's say it's contact. Okay, so once you have all these menu objects created, next thing we're going to do is to go into a navbar and create another div, and give it a class name of, let's say, logo. It's our logo, and in that logo we have just a text. Let's call it Arslan, my name. So it's Arslan Farooq here, and another, now this one, and now the next div is for the menu, and I'll say it should be an unordered list. And the next thing is to map through our object. And if you are unaware about map, you should learn React, and you should watch my other videos as well. I have explained that properly in a separate video specifically. But what it generally does is, in React specifically, we use map function to map through arrays of data, and render that out into JSX. And for that, we're going to do is just a menu dot map function takes an arrow function as an argument, and that is the arrow function that which runs for each of the item inside an array. Okay, so for each let's say call it menu item. For each menu item, what we want to do is to render a list item, and in that list item we want to render an anchor point, and that anchor point should contain the title. So we'll say menu item dot title, and the anchor point should refer to the link. So we have that link in menu item dot link. So now let's see how it looks on our web page. So refresh this. Okay, so I think we forgot. Yeah, so I forgot to return this, because map function returns the JSX rather than just outputting that on the screen. So yeah, so should work now. Yeah, so here we can see our menu. Now what we want to do is to style this properly. So first we will do a menu for the desktop, then we'll work on the hamburger menu. So to just style this menu, what we need to do, first of all, import the styles. Should we import styles.css here? So yeah, once it's imported, what we're going to do is to go to nav, give it a display of flex. Flex just means that it just become a row. So there's some error here. Let's see. I mean /styles, or maybe, yeah, go to whenever. So it's /styles. Okay. Oh yeah, so now we have a row. For the first item was the logo, and the second was the menu, and both are being aligned horizontally. The next thing we want to do is to convert this menu into a row as well. So for that, we're going to do it's nav, and inside the nav bar we have an order list, and that unordered list also should be our display flex. So it has also become a row. Okay, now looks better. And there are some issues here. The first one is these we don't want these bullet items, so we're gonna do list style type. It's this by default. We want to none, since we don't need any default. Okay, so now we don't have any list item styles, and it just all the menu items are being aligned in a row. Next thing we want to do is to, let's say, give it some padding. Okay, it's not this side, not the another list, but we're gonna give some padding to the list items themselves. So we're gonna do another list, and inside another we have list items, and inside list items we have anchor points. Those are our actual buttons, and we want to just we want to make them look like a button. For that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna give them some padding, and the padding should be, I think, 1 RAM should be enough, I guess. Okay, yeah, so it looks fine, it looks like a menu now, and but the issue here is with the logo. So we also gonna style that, and here before this, what I like to do is I like to keep everything in its order, even in the CSS. So when I'm making edits to the CSS or the styles later on, then it's not very difficult for me to find where the styles for the specific component are. Okay, so here I'll say nav, and inside the nav we have a logo class, and that logo class should have some padding first of all, so it should be 1 RAM. Okay, so yeah, so looks well aligned now. Now coming to my list items, need some styling. So first of all, we don't need any text separation, so no underlines here, none. Okay, and also we need them to be of a different color. We need them to be black, definitely. Okay, so let's call it color and black. And on hover, I think I should just reduce some opacity here. I don't need to do anything dramatic. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is go to the hover and just decrease the opacity of the button, opacity of it, so it did some effect on hovering. Okay, so when I hover over this, yeah, so you can see it just lightens a bit and it looks good, I guess. Okay, so now I need to change to just style my logo, which is my name. So going to the logo, I think I should increase, first of all, increase the font size about to 1.25 RAM, and let's quickly reduce the size of all these text in the button. So the font size, and make it let's say make it 0.85 RAMs. Yeah, looks nice now. One more thing, I need to align items center as well. Yeah, so everything is centered properly. Looks like a menu now. Just need to make the logo look a bit better. For that, we can do is increase the font weight to, let's say, border the maximum we have here. So yeah, it's looking better now. I think more than enough for our purpose. So going here, what I want is that these menu items should not be right next to the logo. Rather than I would like them to be on the other end, on the right side. For that, I guess I should do go here and just for quickly just justify content and space between. Yeah, so what it's gonna do, and it's gonna, yeah, so it's gonna add like all the extra space between both our containers or both our divs. So now it looks way better than it was looking before, and I think it looks fine for our desktop screen for now. So what we can do here, so now what we need to do is to style this for our tablets and for the mobile phone. So there are two ways to do that. First of all, it is already responsive to a certain screen size, and we can just test this here. We see that if it's responsive, and I think if you can see 100% of the screen, yeah, see, it's responsive for the tablets even as well, I guess. Yeah, so it's responsive for the tablets. We just need to redo that for the mobile phones, and for the mobile phones, what we're gonna do, we are gonna add a hamburger button here. So it will just be an icon, and once that icon is clicked, this menu won't be visible in our mobile phones. So rather than, we'll see just icon here, I'm repeating, and when somebody clicks on that icon, the menu will pop from underneath this, and it will be a vertical menu here. Okay, so let's just go to the code and implement all this logic. One more thing, I just need to add some box shadow at the bottom of this, so yeah, we can we can distinguish between the menu and the navbar and complete and everything else. So for that, I think what I should do is, rather than adding a drop shadow, I can just go here and add a border bottom here. So I'll say border bottom solid 1 pixel, and gray would do. Okay, fine for now, just for explanation. So coming to our responsive menu, here we go. Okay, so we want to hide this. Let's just give it a class name for now. Okay, so I'll give it a class name, call it desktop menu, and put it here. Okay, yeah. Desktop menu here, and add a media query here as well. Okay, so for the desktop menu, so when the screen size is smaller than a certain limit, then this desktop menu disappears, and that limit, I guess, should be, let's say, media screen and minimum width, I would say max width. Okay, so max width should be 600 pixel. So when it's 600 pixel, the desktop menu will just simply hide. Okay, so I'll say desktop menu and display, I'll set its display to none, and in the same place I will add another menu with a different class name. So, and I'll call it a mobile menu. So it will be a mobile menu. Okay, so what it will do is, when the width when the max width is, when the minimum width is I think we should not add another media query, rather I can. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to add this mobile menu here, and we'll say mobile menu, and so it means that when we are on the mobile screen or even a smaller screen, then the desktop menu's display is set to none, and mobile's menu's display is set to flex. Okay, it's just as simple as that. And here where we styled our desktop menu, here we're going to also style our mobile menu. Just there will be only one difference, that our display will be none initially. So yeah, and it will also be a column. So what we will say, we will make it a column, and for that I think flex direction should be column, and when it's on a mobile, it will display. Okay, so what we need to do here is to add another thing here, and that is important. So we need to make these important. So when these properties are also being applicable, then they are the most important ones, and the previous ones that we have declared above here are not being used, just to make sure that. Okay, so what we'll do is just say important here as well, and now we see. Okay, so here we can see on our desktop screen we have a full menu visible, and when the screen gets smaller, our vertical menu is being shown. So we need to make a couple of adjustments here. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and for the mobile menu we want to set the display to none, but we also need to add a couple more things here, and those are, we want to position it to make it fixed position. Okay, so it should be fixed, and from the left side it should be 50%, and also we want to just compensate for its own side, and so we want to translate, and it should be 50% from the left and 0 from here. Okay, and from the top, I think we should do, what we should do, I think 100 pixel would be enough. Okay, so now, and also add a border here, so you know it's properly visible on the screen, and we can see its boundaries very clearly, and add a gray border here. Now have a look at it. Okay, so when we get to the mobile, yeah, so that is how it displays here. And we want to make a couple of adjustments, and the first one should be to just increase its height first of all, and for that I would say 100 pixels. 100 pixels is just too much, so just move this all together, make it 50. I guess 50 should be enough. Yeah, 50 looks fine. Okay, so make it 50 pixels, and remove this border altogether, and also there is an issue here, so because we are defining the list style type here, so we also need to do this here. So yeah, so everything is removed. Now we want to modify our menu items, and for that we need to do nav and unordered list, not just unordered list, we want to do mobile menu, and there we go to the list items, to the anchors, and here we are in the anchors, and we should set the width to 100%, and add the borders here, not just the border, we just want to add the border bottom, and it should be solid 1 pixel and gray. Okay, and we also need to do another thing here, and that is to just remove this padding and everything from for mobile menu. So we just need to replace this with the desktop menu, and so everything will be gone. Okay, so we want to first of all add these important things here, the font size and everything. So yeah, so everything is here. Now we need to make a couple of adjustments, and those are, we also want to do resize our list items. Okay, so we're going to go list items, and want to give it a width of 100%, and give it some padding. That should be 1 RAM would be enough, I guess, on the top and bottom, and 2 RAMs on left and right. In fact, we don't need padding here. Yeah, so 1 RAM and 0 RAM. Okay, so looks better now, much better I guess. And also we want to align the text to center, so we'll say text align center, looking much better now. Yeah, so it looking much better now. We just need bottom borders, and everything will be sorted. So we go border bottom, give it one solid 1 pixel, and give it some color, let's say gray. Okay, so now it looks like a menu. And why not give it a width of 100 view width, which means 100%, so it will be 100 view width. Okay, I think. Okay, so let's give it a margin of 0 to our container for the menu. Okay, so looking great now. Okay, so now I have opened both the icons we need, and I also opened this setup guide. So first we need to install this as well. I think I forgot to do this before, so I'll go here in the terminal and paste it as it is. it should install React Font Awesome for us so that we can import Font Awesome icons in our React project. So here I'll just go here and say import from Font Awesome and React Font Awesome, and here we have a Font Awesome icon object. This is what we're going to use. And now what we got to do is to just go on our icons pages and copy the snippet and paste it as it is. Okay, press enter. Some issue with there, some issue with it. So I think we also need to import this from our library Font Awesome free solid svg icons, and here need to say fa parse, and this icons parameter we'll say fa parse. It should work now, hopefully. Yeah, so it's working now, and you can see the icon right on the top. Now we got to do a couple of things here. First of all, we need to create a state here just to know when the menu is open and when the menu is not open. So for that I'll say constant is mobile menu open and set is mobile menu open. Go to use state and set it to false first. Okay, so yeah, and one more thing, we need to add a conditional here. So the conditional will look like this. Just let us cut this first. Okay, so there's a little mistake here. So just cut it here, and now I'll say is mobile menu open. If the mobile menu, this means that if the mobile menu is open, then we're gonna show the close icon, and just gonna replace this with the. Also need to add fa x mark. Yeah, and here I'll replace this with this fa x mark. Okay, so and also in the rendering we need to cut this and add a similar logic here. So if it's mobile menu open, if it is open we'll show this, and if it is not open then we'll just output an empty string. Looks much better now. And to open the mobile menu we just need to add a on click listener here, and that we'll do now. So we'll go add another we need to add a function here. So we'll say constant handle on click, just be a function here, and what it will do is it will set is mobile open to what it is currently not. So it will just change its state. So, and so here we can type in on click and add handle on click here. Same, do same for both. So yeah, you have it now. Let's have a look at it. Okay, and also need to do one more thing, that is we need to hide our icon if the window if we are on a desktop. So we need to add a class name here, and we'll add it mobile menu button. Just copy this here and add it to the other icon as well. So we'll go ahead and paste it. Now we have that for both our icons, and in our menu here we just need to need to first hide this and then mobile menu button, and first I need to set its display to none. And now when this if it is on the mobile, then we can say to set it to block, then important. So yeah, it shows properly. Okay, so if we are on the mobile, it just goes away and we have a hamburger. Looks good now, I guess. Just need to add some padding to it, some margin, I guess. Margin right, it should be. So just 1 mm must be enough. Okay, yeah, it's enough, I guess. Working fine. So we have a working hamburger menu here. I've not added very elegant styling yet. I think we can do a couple of adjustments here just to make it look better. I'm not gonna do much, but some necessary stuff just to make it look better. Some stuff randomly, I guess. Okay, so in this navbar, I can add a color. Let's use the color picker. Okay, do something close to our channel's colors. Yeah, so let's say this and make this white. Similarly, I can go there and change the color of the icons as well. Here is it. It is color is white. And for the border here, I think we should replace the color of it as well. So I think we can make it the same color we have for the background. Making it thicker would do good as well. So make it 2 pixels. Let's see how it looks now. Oh, looking good. Not amazing, definitely, but yeah, good enough. Good enough for our purpose because it is just for demonstration. So now you guys can see the hamburger menu is working and it is also responsive. Uh, one just last bit of it left. Just make it white as well. Okay, so color should be white. Here we have a fully functional hamburger menu. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and like this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I am also constantly uploading such helpful stuff, so don't forget to check that out. Bye for now.